This week, we're giving you our predictions for all the reveals coming this Summer Game Fest season. We'll run down all of our bets for the State of Play, Xbox Showcase, and the main SGF show too, while also giving you our impressions on 007 First Light. It's all coming up on this week's HGO podcast. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the HGO podcast. I'm one of your hosts today, Ethan, and joining me, as always, is my good friend Hunter. Hey, Hunter, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing just swell.
I feel like, and this might just be me, I'm gonna move my webcam ever so slightly. I've been messing with things, Hunter, and you know when you mess with things and you don't know where that's a bit better. I feel a bit more central now.
Yeah.
I've been messing with things. It's just been one of those weeks where it's like, you know, I've lost track of everything. I don't know what day it is. I don't know where I am anymore. It's like one of my best friends got married on Sunday, and it's been a bank holiday for everybody. So it's like I feel all over the place. Where it's like I'm growing the homeless beard because I've been off a few days. It's like it's over, dude. Like I don't know where I am anymore. What day is it? 007 came out on a Wednesday. What? Like,
that messed me up so much I didn't even go to the store to pick it up until the following day anyway.
Yeah, it's been one of those weeks, bud. It's been one of those weeks. But don't worry, because our Lord and Savior, Jesus, is coming to key 3 us all into a new dimension when Summer Game Fest is here, ladies and gentlemen. We're here. This week, we're going to be doing, it's a show of 2 halves. If you are here for 007 impressions, they're in the second half of the show. I know what you're thinking. Wait, why is the new game in the second half of the show? Ask the YouTube algorithm. For whatever reason, first impressions haven't been doing so hot on the YouTube side, whereas you podcast goblins, you just listen to everything like good little boys and girls and MBs or whatever. So we're going to stick it in the second half, and we're going to see if that makes a difference. If it doesn't, oh well, we tried, but we'll play for the YouTube algorithm this once, Hunter. We'll go clickbait, predictions, Jeff ruins everything at the start, and then we'll talk about video games afterwards.
All very true.
So yeah, we're going to be talking about State of Play. We're going to be talking about the Xbox show, Summer Game Fest predictions. That's all happening the first half of the show. So buckle in, ladies and gentlemen, because if any of this stuff is real that I've written down, it's going to be a great time. If none of it's real, like the likelihood is, then my God, we're in for a rough one. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah. It should be fun though. I've played quite a bit of First Lights. There will be plenty of impressions of First Light. Don't you worry. I've got plenty to talk about that game. But we'll get into it all in a little bit. Bit of housekeeping. Obviously, reviews are trickling in as we play more video games and more stuff is coming to fruition. So obviously, you've had the Saros review went up last week. Thank you for watching it. If you haven't already, it's on the website, hotgamesonly.com, or on the YouTube channel. We'd really appreciate it if you go check that out. And then we've got more coming up, right, Hunter? You've got a Coffee Talk review coming up,
There is one.
The not too distant future?
En route, yes.
Sick. And then am I supposed to be covering 007? I probably will have it finished before you.
You probably will. By all means,
it might be me.
Take that
It might be
one.
me. So yeah, there'll be a 007 First Light review as well coming up shortly. Don't you worry about that. At some point, I've got to get back to Lego Batman. I'll get to that eventually. That's just that one game where it's like, sorry, Batman, I gave you a good few hours, but then I've had to play Coffee Talk and this, and you know, it's just like, I'll get back to you. I promise. Someday.
It's me with Vampire Crawlers right now. I put that down when other things came out, and I haven't picked it up since.
To be fair, it's like I was looking at the release calendar for June, and there's nothing really in my kind of radar
I feel like
really
June
for June. So I'm
me
like, well, you could have put a couple of these in June, mate.
month,
Yeah, you could. It's a
where,
great.
the only
catch-up
thing
month,
I'm
yeah.
really thinking of picking up is Star Fox, and that's going to take me a day.
Yeah,
So,
same.
You know.
So yeah, you all released your May video games within the span of like 9 days, and now we all catch up because you all didn't see June as a viable option for whatever reason. But it's all good. We'll get to all those games, and then obviously, podcast is on every Monday, so you know where to find us: youtube.com/hotgamesonly, or on podcast services, just search for the HGO podcast or Hot Games Only. Or heck, go to the website, hotgamesonly.com. You can listen to the podcast on there as well. No one ever does. So if one of you freaks starts doing it that way, I will find out, and I will find you, and I will thank you personally. But you can do that if you want. Anyway, it is time for topic of the show. Can you believe non-E3 season is here? I'm not gonna
It
lie.
feels like a proper, like, lined up non E3 season this time, not
It feels
just
like everyone's put their
Jeff
ducks in a
and
row.
Xbox.
Everyone's put their ducks in a row. Sony's decided to show up for once, like the dad that stood up. Um, and then yeah, you've got your Xbox show as normal. You've got your Key 3 show as normal. What's interesting is Sony now being in the mix makes the likelihood of Jeff's show being ever more disappointing a real likelihood. So it's like,
It's
I
true.
don't know about your predictions, Hunter, but it's like I got quite a bit for State of Play. I've got quite a bit for Xbox. Game Fest, I'm like, there was a funny part of me that was like, you get the drabs, you get what others don't want, and that's, we'll see what that is. Um, but it'll be an interesting one. I think what doesn't help is all the leaks. There have been so many leaks about little things here and there
There
the
have.
past week. Some of them have been, massive. Some of them quite literally have had like basically everything, including a remaster of an older one as well, all being leaked at the same time. And then there's been other things that have been sprinkled in here and there. There's been AI, is what's AI, what isn't. That's a fun conversation that we have now in games where it's just like you can have one legit thing and 26 non-legit things, and then you have to pick pick the right one. It's just a lot of fun. So the way we're doing this, ladies and gentlemen, is we don't tend to split these up because there'll be some of these where it's like it could show up at the state of play. I might have stuff in the state of play that also could be a Jeff show, right? So
Yeah.
there'll be specific stuff. We're gonna run them through the way Jeff Keighley intends it to run, right? We'll do state of play first, then we'll do Game Fest, then we'll do Xbox. But there's some wiggle room. If it's a third party thing, basically, Hunter, if it's a third party thing and you say it's how gonna happen at PlayStation and it happens at Jeff's show, you still got it, right? You just missed it
Yeah.
a little bit. We're not gonna be harsh and go, well, sorry, mate. Year of Dreams cancelled. Actually, we're gonna have to put Castlevania. We're gonna have to take it out back and shoot it because you've got the wrong show.
Yeah.
But I think that it's best for us to start with state of play.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about the state of play? Because let's do a vibe check before we get into it. Because I'm out of the three shows, I'm not gonna lie, I think this state of play is the one I'm most excited for. Mainly
You
because
know,
Sony haven't
that
done a big
makes
show in a while, like
yeah,
a proper
that's
big show in a while.
you would hope that they would have something if they called their shot like a week or two ahead of time instead of
2 weeks
just
ahead of time.
the Nintendo special of, hey, we're doing one in 2 days.
Over
Because
two, yeah.
that's usually that's been their MO since the 2023 showcases that nobody liked. Like after those, they were like, okay, we're just gonna surprise you every time from then
I think
on.
the big things are over 2 weeks notice, which is a big notice period to give, right? Most of the time we're used to a day or 2 days or a week tops. Over 60 minutes, and it's going into cinemas, which correct me if I'm wrong, Sony has not done one of these cinema kind of releases for a show since, I'm gonna say, 2016 E3, maybe
Really?
2017, but I think it's been a while. And the
I
last
don't
one that I
know.
remember being in cinemas was the big God of War, Spider-Man, Crash Bandicoot coming back. It was that show was the last one that I think was in cinemas, and the cinemas are also saying that it's 90 minutes. So we've kind of got a rough estimate that it is an hour
Well,
and a half.
I think that's mostly because of like theater time. You'd probably have to allot more for your slot in between or whatever.
It's somewhere between 60 and 90. I'm going to guess it's going to be around 90, though, because cinemas usually will, including ads and all that jazz, it'll be around 2 hours probably. So that's like the runtime of the movie length. So we'll go with that for now. But it's going to be a big one. I think the fact that they're putting this much marketing push into it, there's going to be a couple of things here. My hope is that this is, if in a perfect world, Hunter, I hope this is the apology tour. I really do. I hope it's
That would be nice.
we kind of fucked up this generation a little bit, haven't we, lads? Let's wind it back in a little bit. Here's some stuff that you actually care about. That's my hope, is give us a reason to care. I also hope it's a bunch of stuff that is still for, like, none of this oh, look at this. Here's a logo. Here's a God of War remake. Just here's a stupid JPEG. See you in 5 years on a new console, probably. I don't want any of that. I kind of want them to be like, here's some games that you will probably play in the next 18 months, and you'll play it on the console that you've paid for because we know that you're probably not going to be able to afford another console by the time they show up. So that's my kind of
Yeah.
hopes and dreams. But of the couple of things that have leaked already, and bear in mind, the couple of things that have leaked to me are what a lot of people might consider smaller games and bits and pieces that not as many people. It's got me very excited. I'm like, if that's one of the smaller things that's just going to show up at this show, I'm like, hey, the potential's there. The potential's genuinely there to have some really special things here. So let's start off with what we know. The show is going to open with Wolverine. They've already
Yeah.
said that it starts with Wolverine, which I think is fair enough. I'd like them to get it over with, not because I'm looking forward to it, but I'd rather get the known quantities out of the way so we can start.
Yeah, I hope they don't spend too long on it either. Like,
I
just
think
kind
it'll
of
be like
show
5 minutes.
what the gameplay is and then move on, hopefully.
My guess is it'll be like a 5 to 10 minute thing, if that. I'm hoping
Yeah, I hope it's closer to the
my
5 minute
five,
side
yeah.
instead of the 10-minute side.
But my prediction for Wolverine is I think Wolverine will look great. I think it will look like what people want that game to look like. It's not moving from its September date. I'm sure you'll get all your pre-order information. There'll be a collector's edition. There'll be a Logan on his motorbike kind of figurine they'll be on PS Direct for $250.
With the exact measurements of how big it is.
Yeah, and it'll be there in a year's time, and it'll be half price in a Days of Play sale because no one buys these collector's editions. Because I was looking at the PlayStation Direct website, and I was like, it was just all of them, like the Death Stranding 2, the Spider-Man, like half price. I'm like, damn, they make a lot of these, eh? But
Yeah.
I think it'll be pretty good, and I think people will be pretty excited about it. I'm a little bit excited about it. I'm gonna play it. It's an Insomniac game. I'll play it.
Yeah, I'm eager to see what it is, for sure.
And then the other one that we'll mention now, because I don't feel like if I just say this, it's like there'll be two people like, "Wow, he got this really accurate," as if it wasn't leaked. Rayman Legends Retold is the big one that's been leaked that is showing up at the State of Play. We know it's coming. We know it's at the
leaked
State of
for
Play.
the State of Play.
Yeah, we know it's for the State of Play.
Okay, so for that, that smacks of something that Keighley would have, just because
It does, doesn't
he
it?
always has the Ubisoft loser stuff.
But the pre-orders go live on the 2nd, which is the day of the State of Play, so there's nowhere else for it to go.
Yeah.
Unless that's wild if they were like, yeah, we'll announce it on the 2nd and not have it at State of Play. That seems wild.
That'd be weird. But no, I wouldn't be shocked if it showed up at Keighley's thing too. Just as one of those things. He loves third party. You already saw this, and within the week, here you go again.
Yeah, he does love that stuff. But yeah, so this is a full on remake retelling of Rayman Legends because that's what we needed. But in the similar way to Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced, it seems they've gone, here's a remake of a game from 2013 you definitely don't need, but you're going to look at it and you're going to go, I'll still take a great game redone. I'll take it. Yeah, this game's coming out. They're doing a remaster of Origins as well, and that'll probably be a shadow drop. That'll be my guess. Is Origins will be a shadow drop. It'll be like, you can play that right now, and Ethan will be like, yes, please. I will definitely buy that straight away. And then you'll be able to play Legends when it's out in September. Was it September or October? I can't remember.
No, I think
the
it was
release
October.
date's also, yeah, it's October 1st, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe when I see the trailer, it'll change my mind. But conceptually, I've been looking at this and been like, how much better could you possibly make this game look? You know?
We'll see. Well, from the sounds of it, conceptually, it sounds like what's interesting that a lot of people don't actually know is both Origins and Legends. By the way, Origins and Legends, two of the best 2D platformers ever made. Let's make that abundantly clear. They are fantastic. If you have not played them, please do. They're fantastic. What a lot of people don't know is how much cut content both of those games went through. They went through really rushed development cycles. So there's actually a lot of stuff from Legends that never actually made it through. So my hope is that this remake is almost, going to do what all the things that they thought they were going to do with it, but ended up not doing. Like Legends is brilliant, but it is just kind of almost what 3D World is to 3D Land, where it's like a really souped up, like expertly crafted, like better version, like definitive version of that original concept. And so I'm
Yeah.
hoping like a lot of those interesting little things that got cut from Legends are being added back in, and there'll be a bunch of new stuff. I'm really excited. I'm also excited for Ubisoft to actually care about something that isn't Assassin's Creed for once. Like, I don't know if people realize this, but it's like this isn't the only Rayman project that's in the works right now. So the fact that they're doing this much to Legends, and this is the smaller Rayman project, is good news for Rayman fans. Because as far as I'm aware, there's also a full 3D proper, like, not proper, that sounds rude, but like a true successor to the 3D Raymans is also coming down the pipeline from Ubisoft. So Rayman fans are eating where all the other 3D platformer fans are not currently. So Godspeed, I
Unless you're a
guess.
Bubsy fan.
Yeah, unless you're a Bubsy fan or a Croc fan. But yeah, I'm interested to see how this plays out. Fingers crossed. I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna buy it. Rayman Legends is like genuinely is like top. I'm not gonna say it's like top 20 video games, probably top 30. It's in there. It's in there somewhere. It's fantastic. It's probably better than I'm gonna say something controversial. I'm like, it's probably better than every like Nintendo 2D platform. It probably is. It's high up there. It's if not, it's close, right? It's like
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
Mario World is above it,
Yeah,
but
I was
it's
gonna
like
say
it's
there's only
close.
really a couple where I'd be like, hey, slow down. Let's evaluate this a little bit. But also like I would say the same thing about Celeste without blinking, so it's not an
Yeah, yeah.
unheard of thought to me. The same way it might be for some people.
It's so good. It's so good. And the soundtrack as well. Oh, what a game. What a game. I can't wait to replay another 2013 Ubisoft classic in 2026. It's going to be great. Right. That's all the confirmed stuff, like the properly locked down leaked stuff. Hunter, where do you want to go with this? I've got big brain, I've got wherever you want to go. Where do you want to start?
Okay, I'll just start with one that's kind of silly.
Go for it.
So I think a lot of this, in between the whatever big stuff PlayStation must have to justify them doing this, there's going to be a lot of follow-ups to the state of play that we saw a few months ago.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of those will be a Kena
Yeah,
Scars of Cosmora come out with the date.
I've got that on mine too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't have a specific date in mind, but for some reason I get this feeling that Onimusha's date is also going to be revealed at this thing, and I feel like they will be no further than 2 weeks apart.
I'll do you one better. I bet you're on the exact same day. I'll do you the one
I
better.
hope
Dude.
not. I hope there's at least a week of breathing room. Like Kana's not a long. Kana probably isn't going to be a long game. I could get that done. Before or after.
When is it? Is it August? When is it? Does it not have a day
unspecified?
Either?
Yeah.
Kena screams to me like an August game. That screams like an August game. There's almost that's where I land on it.
Like
I
the
also
first
feel
one
like there's
came out in September, but PlayStation's got September pretty well covered with Wolverine. Yes, I guess you could release it at the very beginning if you wanted, but
I think it's an August thing. That screams an August thing to me. It also screams like there's like a 30% chance that it'll be a plus extra thing as well. Just a little.
True.
So we'll see, because they always like to have like one big indie push every year, and I love Big Walk. I'm loving the vibes of Big Walk, but that doesn't scream like the big kind of Stray or big indie like kind of push. They try to do one big indie push for extra a year.
Stray, Sea of Stars. There was one last year that's escaping me. I can't remember.
Same, and I feel like I played. Well, Blueprints was on there. So
yeah,
it's like,
Blueprints. That would be the one.
So we'll see. But yeah, like I'm in the exact same ballpark, and I'll get these boring ones out of the way. I think this is also where you get your release date for Control Resonant, because that was at the last state of play, and I feel like it's one of those ones where Sony seems to have marketing a little bit on that one. So I feel like you've got to go with these. You've got to go, where have they shown off before? And it's like, yes, Control Resonant was announced at a Keeley thing, but also the last time it was shown was at a State of Play. So I'm going with nearest wins. You know, it was like it was at the last State of Play. I'm gonna
Yeah.
guess that it'll show it again at this State of Play. I still think it does come out this year, but we'll see. This is also, it's a bit like Fable, where if they do just say, "Hey, listen, it's getting a bit too cramped here," I'd be like, "Fair play, Godspeed. See you in early 2027," which is going to be even more chaotic from the looks of it, because that is just going to be the GTA kind of
Fallout
deployment zone, the
zone.
evacuation
Yeah.
zone. Yeah, everyone's just going to be sitting around there
The
and hoping that.
refugees.
Yeah, everyone's just going to hope that remake part 3 is just not near them. But yeah. Um, I mean, have I got one more release date? Well, I've got two more release date. Three more release date ones. Big Walk will probably get its release date, I think. That's something that will be chucked near the end where they start talking about PS Plus. They'll probably go, "Hey, it's here. It's a big show, so to celebrate, here's 2 games for you, premium people. Instead of one PS1 game, you'll get 2. And also Big Walk's coming. They'll probably do something like that. Silent Hill Townfall.
I feel like that and Castlevania are both gonna be dated.
Those are the
Yeah.
other two that I have here. Yeah, it's Silent Hill and Castlevania. I think they both get dated here. Konami's in a really good place with Sony at the moment. They seem to be announcing everything at Sony shows, so it makes sense for them to be here. They're the new Capcom as Capcom moves closer to Keeley on
Yeah.
the spectrum. But yeah, do you think both of those still make it this year?
I think so. I don't imagine there's any reason that they would have started talking about them if they didn't. You know, like it seems like Konami, since returning to video game output, has had a relatively decent idea of where their stuff is going. Whereas, like, they announced the date for Silent Hill 2, and I thought that was going to get pushed, and it didn't.
Yeah.
I thought Silent Hill F was going to be further out than it was, and then they were like, well, hey, here it is in 2025. And it's like, people were under the impression that Metal Gear Solid Delta was going to come out earlier than it did, but those people were foolish.
Yeah. It was weird, right? I think what's interesting is I feel like Fable was the warning shot. I feel like this will be the loaded gun, where I think Fable moving to me has cemented that it is happening, that GTA is releasing in November, because I feel like Xbox will have that kind of information to go,
Yeah.
yeah, we're moving Fable, because we're running out of months and they don't want to put Fable in December, which I don't blame anybody, because let's be real here. The only people that ever really put a game out in December are Nintendo, and they only do it because they feel like it's a game they have to get out. Where, you know, it's a JRPG, get it out. It's Smash Bros, it'll sell anyway, get it out. It's a really mediocre sequel to a game that we should have released years ago, get it out.
Yeah.
I feel like this is going to be the loaded gun. I feel like this is going to be a lot of people either locking in dates or getting the hell out of the way. And I think that's what you're going to see, is you're going to see a lot. And I think you're going to see a lot of what I like to call Donkey Kong Country Returns games, where it's in June, you've got people already putting release dates down in February, March, who are literally just going to start plunking dates down, and people are going to go, wow, bit early to tell us that you're coming out on March 22nd, 2027, but people are literally just trying to get a dot in, because they know that it's gonna be the Wild West next spring. So just get a dot down. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I think those are, you know, kind of, you're gonna get all those dates, and you're gonna like them.
Oh yeah, I'm
God
definitely
damn
gonna
it,
like them.
Hunter's
Like,
gonna like them anyway. If you
tell me
don't,
when
Hunter will.
Castlevania is coming, please.
I'm gonna get this one out of the way because it's more realistic, but it's also more boring. God of War. Let's get it out of the way.
Yeah.
The Freya game. The Freya game. Corey, I really hope you sell me on this. I really do hope
me
you
too.
sell me
That's
on
what I'm
this.
saying. Like, I really hope that whatever they show me convinces me it's good. Because years of, oh, he's working on a secret new IP, or it to not be a new IP. This is the Arkham Knight thing. No, it's an original character. No, it isn't.
I hope it's good. I really do. It'll probably. I've got in my head. I'm envisioning that this is going to be called something like Freya, a God of War story, or it's going to have God of War as like this. Like you know what I mean. Like this is the low standards I have for this game at the moment. Is it's going to be called like a you know. It's either gonna say like it's gonna have a God of War something in like the subtitle. They're gonna have to get God of War in
Yeah,
it
yeah, they're
somewhere so
gonna
the
throw
normies know what
God
it
of War
is.
there somewhat. So I thought I knew what this was about, but hearing chatter about it and probably people just speaking incorrectly
As they
here
do.
and
It's the
there
internet.
has tripped me up. It's about Kratos' dead wife, right?
Yes.
Okay, okay. People whose name is Faye. People have been
Yeah.
saying Freya here and
Yeah.
there, who is
Even
the
I
wrong
have. I think I
person.
just said it, which I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah, I
yeah,
think
which is why I was like, wait a second.
Faye, a God of War story. Yeah, to
Yeah,
be fair, it's my problem, and it's also my problem because I, for the past like month and a half, have been deep in the Overwatch mines once more, and my new main is Freya, so I'm also getting confused there, where it's like there's like too many Freyas and Fays in the life of the video game life cycle at the moment. Um, but yeah, so that's what it's about, which is like it's interesting because obviously she was like known for all of the if you've played God of War and God of War Ragnarok, you know that she had left a lot of signs. She knew what was going to happen. She kind of has this gift of foresight, and she had it's implied that she had traveled across realms and different
yeah,
pantheons and stuff like that. It's a really interesting premise if they get it right. What I really don't want to sit there thinking about is, oh, this is the third part when they said it was a duology. They've been saying for the
yeah,
longest
yeah.
time that
That's
it's a
the
duology, and it's like, but it was always going to be three parts, but the third part's a prequel. I'm like, I'm hoping that it is a bit more independent of itself. I don't want to just play it and then go, oh, it is a trilogy. It's just we got the first part last.
yeah. Also, like maybe I would also be more agreeable to this if it wasn't 4 years after the last game.
We have waited longer for this than we've waited between God of War 2018 and God of War 2022 now at this point, haven't we? Like, it's not coming out this year. We know it'll be next year, so it'll be a
Yeah,
longer wait.
yeah, will have been a longer wait for sure. It's one of those things like that's kind of how I felt when the got 2D God of War rumors were spinning. I'm like, I don't know, that would have been a cool thing like a year after Ragnarok came out, not just
The problem
now.
is Sony's doing the quirky Nintendo thing where you get a cute little spin-off. But the problem is the cute little spin-off is taking as long as a mainline entry, so you don't get the cute little echoes of Weckos. Oh, it's a Zelda 2D thing in between my main courses. No, it's the main course. And it's like, okay, that's cool, but you need to justify it to me. Like, you need to properly. If this is awesome, then great. I can't wait. It's going to be fantastic. But also, I think the issue that we're going to get across, and I think it's something that Sony is slowly starting to realize, is these development cycles are too long. You need to start having smaller games. What that doesn't mean, though, is that everything needs to be a God of War story or a Marvel thing or a blooming Naughty Dog game disguising itself as like I don't know what Naughty Dog could do at this point. They're just I know what Naughty Dog can do. They've got three bloody tricks up their sleeve.
Yeah.
But
Action set piece, be
yeah,
sad.
yeah, be sad.
Abuse your developers.
Have your game hated for the wrong reasons. I was really funny because I was talking to someone about Last of Us Part 2 the other day, and I was like, my opinions of Last of Us Part 2 have, greatly shifted since I played it. I still think it's a fine video game, but I have my problems with it. And I was like, it's not Last of Us Part 2 is a beautiful game because the internet hates it for the wrong reason. There are reasons why that game is bad, and I wish you would all get on the right side of history and start hating it for those reasons instead of the stupid reasons you've made up.
Yes, hate it because the pacing is dog water, not because Abby could twist your neck off.
Or the terrible little story beats that are not aged very well at all over the past 5 years. Anyway,
Yeah, no kidding.
yeah, you've got a lot of work to do to get me on board with this. I'm hoping that it will, but it's the same with like Horizon, where it's like, okay, Horizon Hunters Gathering, I don't care. And you're telling me now that Horizon Hunters Gathering is stopping me from finishing the Horizon trilogy for another 5 years. I'm going to be like 34. It started when I
Yeah.
was 21. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, that's insane, right? Like with
I wasn't
Hunter's
even 21. I was
Gathering,
19. It was 2017. I was 19 when it started.
like if Hunter's Gathering,
I used to be young, Hunter.
probably
I
gonna
used to be young.
probably gonna be here, by the way. But
Don't
if that
care.
wasn't
Doesn't
out,
get a
yeah, yeah,
mention
I
on
know,
my
right?
spreadsheet.
But if that wasn't like in the way, it wouldn't be that outlandish to think that maybe Horizon could squeak in before the next console.
No,
But not anymore, definitely.
but um, but yeah, it's very silly. Moving on. Bit more realistic again. I've got one that's more likely. I think you'll get another Marvel Token trailer because they're just gonna they're gonna poo these out until the cows come home. You know what I mean? They're just gonna keep dumping them out. It's like,
Yeah,
are you having your regular
like
bowel movement of another Tokon Fighting Souls trailer, Sony? Oh, good. There you go.
like one final one at like Evo or whatever,
Yeah,
probably.
probably. Um, I think this is going to happen. I think this is the kind of show that this does happen. By the way, I think God of War will be the closer. That's basically where my mind is at. Is I think that'll be the
Mm.
closer. I'd like to be proven wrong,
I
but
hope not. Like I feel like I want that to be the middle.
or hear me out. You know Wolverines are solid. You know that everyone's going to go into that, and then like, and now the state of play and God of War's the proper opener after Wolverine, where it's like that's where the show begins. That's where I would love to see it. That's where the
Oh,
spot that
that'd
I'd
be
love to see
cool.
it. Um. Anyway, I think you do get this here. I think you get a trailer for Intergalactic. I think that
Mm.
they're going to show it with a big 2027 on it, but I think they show it.
With a
Just
little
be
blinking diagonal line between them to indicate that it's going to be 8.
yeah, probably. I think here's the thing, right? Is I think there's two possibilities. I think you get a Naughty Dog IP here, is what I'll say.
Mm.
I think you get a Naughty Dog IP here. I think you either get that or you get something else, which I'm not going to lie to you. There's a part of me that would want the something else a little bit, if I'm being honest with you, because after playing
I
007
mean,
First Light, my
it's more
dream.
likely that Uncharted would come out before Intergalactic anyway. So
That's my other, like, I think you either get an Intergalactic trailer or Uncharted is back. Now, whether this is Uncharted is back as a remake of the original, or what I personally would rather they do is Naughty Dog is co-developing this with Bend or whoever is working on what. I don't. I feel bad for Bend. I feel like we chuck
they
all the
can never
dump all
get
the
out
stuff
of
on Bend.
jail.
Well, they should have made a game. Um,
They were trying.
my goal, my dream here is. It's been a decade. Can I spoil Uncharted 4 yet, Hunter? It's been a decade. I feel like
Yeah.
I can, right? Cassie Drake. Like that is where I think this series should go, personally, is you can still have Nolan there. You literally, this is what you do: is you age everybody up. Cassie Drake, main character. Nate Drake, he's now Sully. Sully, rest in peace. God rest his soul. The cigars got to him, Hunter. The cigars finally got to him. He couldn't last forever.
Yeah.
Um, playing 007 First Light has made me realize that, my God, 2026 is a different beast to 2016. And what I mean by that is there were games where I played Uncharted 4 and I was like, I've played a dime a dozen of these. I adore Uncharted 4. I'm ready for this to be I'm ready for a break now. 2026, I'm playing 007 First Light, which is basically an Uncharted video game made by IO Interactive. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, do you know what I was saying, Hunter? I was sitting there with a spoiler for in like 20 minutes. Big smile on my face. And I'm like, we don't get this that much anymore. And I'm really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying the stupid kind of like just having a laugh, just having a good time on a linear kind of game like this. We don't get them
Yeah.
anymore because even when we do, there'll be some, kind of garbage semi-open world attached to it or something like that, where it's like, almost like an Arkham City-esque situation where it's like, it's still linear, but there's a hub and it's like this. And I'm like, they don't make these kind of games anymore. And I'm just sitting there going, similar to how we're saying, if Rocksteady is making a Batman, I feel like it's time where I would be open for a new Batman game to come out now. And the same with Uncharted, where I'm like, you know what? Do it. I'd rather that than Intergalactic, if I'm honest with you. Do
Yeah.
it. So I'd like to see a new Uncharted game. That's my prediction. Is I think it's Sony needs to start bringing their IPs back, and I think Uncharted's an easy one. I think that's an easy win because people love Uncharted. People still love Uncharted. You know that it's a big deal when it's been a decade and people still talk about Uncharted. So, yeah, please be a new one. Don't be a remake. I don't want a remake of Uncharted 1. I've played Uncharted 1 enough times. But yeah, I think this is the return of Uncharted. Hunter, are you back from your internet slumber? I can't tell if he is or not. I don't think he is. I don't know if he's back. I'm just gonna go with my next one while he's sitting there. I'll do a little small one. Fair Games. Fair Games is back. It's called whatever it's called now. What? There
Boo.
you go. Perfect. I was waiting. I was like, I'll do something so that he'll just hear the word Fair Games and he'll boo. There you go. We nailed it. It'll be whatever its new name is. It'll be there. They'll try. They'll literally. It's like three kids trying to enter the movie theater in a trench coat. They'll try and come back with it. We'll still hate it. We'll move on with our lives. You've missed nothing else. I was just trying to fill the air. That was just a prediction I thought you wouldn't mind missing.
Yeah, definitely.
What else have you got, Hunter? You got anything interesting for me?
So, your theory about it ending with God of War is probably right. But, I thought back to PlayStation conferences of years past and thought they might do the old Insomniac 1-2 again.
Oh, you think
where
Spider-Man
it starts with
3?
Wolverine and then they just have the little teaser for Spider-Man 3, hopefully not, 5 years out.
Because when was that? 2023?
Yeah.
They teased Spider-Man 3 in 2021, didn't they?
Yeah.
So it is around time for that now, which is crazy again. Time's flat circle. I'm getting old. Is it sad? Here's the thing. Again, Spider-Man 2. Go check. Please go read my review of Spider-Man 2 because it's a very fascinating review to me. Where it's like, it's the one review. It's literally out of all the reviews I've written, it's the only review where I changed the score that I gave a video game. So go please check that out. Please remaster it, Sony, so I have an excuse to lower the score. Just because the story did such a dampener for me, where it's just like, I remember after Miles, I'd constantly replay the first Spider-Man game and go, oh, I can't wait for the next one. And Spider-Man 2 I've never replayed because I love the gameplay. The gameplay is fantastic. Some of the best superhero gameplay in any video game ever made. But the story just absolutely just takes a nosedive in that second half where I'm like, I just do not want to play that second half of the video game. So there's a part of me that's like, I can wait for Spider-Man 3 in a weird way. If it shows up, I will not be as excited as I was about Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, definitely. It's one of those things, right, where it's almost like I would like for some of this stuff that we know has to happen to show up.
So it's out
to
of the
get
way.
the monkey. So to get the monkey off of the back, so we can move on.
Which is why it's like there's a couple here. I'm running out of things, by the way, to say, so feel free to chime in. There have been a couple of things that I've been, and these, I've heard a little, there was a couple of rumors from like VGC that's not got any concrete sources on Infamous, so I put Infamous here.
Yeah.
Just because I'd love to see Infamous. Not because I love Infamous, right? I'm a big fan of Infamous. I think Infamous 2 is incredible. I love Second Son. The first one, I don't care as much about, but, you got to get to Infamous 2. You can't make Infamous 2 on the first try.
Yeah.
I put that there because I'm like, I'd love to see that. I'd love to see a remake of the first two Infamous games because they're the kind of games right now where I'm like, because yes, I'd rather have that than Spider-Man 3. I genuinely would because it's just a bit of personality, it's a bit of old sucker punch. I've also got down here, and I'll say it every year until the day I blooming die, mate. Give me a new Sly Cooper game. Give me a new Jack and Daxter game. Give me something that's family friendly. Astrobot was a huge hit. And I don't think it was necessarily just because Astrobot is fantastic, which it is. I adore Astrobot. I think it's fantastic. But it's because it's been so damn long since internal Sony, has made a family game. That's the first family game from Sony since... What? Knack 2?
Did that come before or after Little Big Planet 3?
Yeah, after.
Okay.
It was 2016.
Jeez.
Because Sackboy was made by Sumo.
Yeah.
they contracted out. So it's like, my hope is, right, is you got this partnership with Bandai. They start bringing back some of this Japan studio stuff. I'd love to see a port of Gravity Rush and Gravity Rush 2. That'd be brilliant. Please bring it to Nintendo Switch and everything else while you're at it. Just give me a PS5 version. I'll be happy. Just reprint it as well so I can buy a copy of it that's not $80. That'd be fantastic. But I just love to start seeing stuff like Sly Cooper. Like every time an anniversary comes out, everyone's more than happy to parade Sly Cooper. Look, here he is. We've added all 3 games to the classics catalog in one go because everybody likes Sly. And then they're like, "Well, are you gonna do anything?" Nah, back in the cupboard. Get back in the fucking cupboard. I just like to see some stuff from Sony. That is my true dream for this showcase, is if they start, even if it's like Ape Escape, if it's whatever, just literally something where I go, oh, old Sony's back, guys. Look, come on over, come to the campfire. There's something that
I like how that statement has 2 fonts. Oh, old Sony's back, or like how it has been this generation, where it's like, oh, old Sony's back.
Yeah, genuinely.
Or it'd be like,
yeah.
PS1 and 2 Sony, or PS3 Sony.
I'd like Shu Sony to come back, not Jim Ryan Sony to come back. Where I'd like to see a bit of personality, whether it is an Infamous remake, whether it is Sly Cooper, whether it is just anything, just something that gives me a bit of a glimmer of hope. Because I think that is the future, especially when you are looking at these extended budgets and these extended game development cycles, is start doing what Nintendo does, which is make really high quality, smaller scale video games.
Yeah.
We're sitting there and we're going, I'm not playing Yoshi and his big bastard book. It's made for 2-year-olds and I'm not vibing with it. But there'll be plenty of people who go, you're being a bit of an arsehole here. It actually is quite a fun adventure and it's well made and I'm having a good time with it. And I'm like, Godspeed. Because they're the people, I can tell you for a fact they did not spend 5 years on Yoshi's big blooming book.
Yeah.
In the same way as you're not going to like Astrobot. Astrobot was made in, roughly about 3 years, or give or take 3 and a bit years. And it was like, yeah, it's not going to be the biggest seller. I think it's done numbers for everybody at winning Game of the Year and stuff like that. But it's like, take the sales away for a second. I've never seen I've never seen the internet be so positive about PlayStation during this generation than Astrobot's release. That was genuinely,
no kidding.
Everyone put the pitchforks down for 5 minutes, had a good time, and then was like, cool, get them back up, now we'll start going at it again. But genuinely, everyone just took a break and went, oh,
even
it's PlayStation.
Things that you would expect to be bigger wins, like Ragnarok or Spider-Man, were just kind of like, we've been here, done that.
People actually put the pitchforks down for a bit. And it's like, I think that's what we need. I think we need more smaller projects from Sony. I think you need stuff like Sly Cooper, like Jak and Daxter, like Ratchet and Clank, like, even just like smaller stuff. Like, not necessarily, it doesn't have to be a huge reinvention of it, but, for a while there was a Twisted Metal game in development that got cancelled. Why was it cancelled? Because it was live service and it was this and that. No, just make a remake of like the original Twisted Metal. Like,
Yeah.
Go back and start looking at this back catalogue and going, we can actually do something with this. That's my dream. And it's all going to happen at the State of Play. 20 classic games remade.
20
all
classic games.
All of them.
They're gonna have a trailer like that Sega trailer from the game.
It's the Super game. They bought the Super game. They bought it.
They bought the Super game.
They bought the branding. Anything else with State of Play? I realize the State of Play section has gone on long enough.
I've said all of my stuff, I think.
I will happily say that if you guys think there's going to be a GTA trailer here, get in the bin. They will do it on their own time. There will not be if there is, I'll be very surprised if there's a GTA trailer here. I know Sony's got the marketing on it, but let's be real, guys. They'll wait for their own turn. They don't need it.
Okay,
perhaps the GTA background came at the same time. That's crazy.
Don't care about Grand Theft Auto, but I would rather them just put their trailer out on YouTube instead of infringing upon my space watching the video game conference.
As someone who's very excited for GTA 6, because I love Rockstar Games to pieces, I also think that it should be separate, because why overshadow all these other fantastic pieces of, all these other wonderful creations when we all know GTA 6, it doesn't matter. GTA 6's trailer can come out on a Sunday morning at 3 a.m. and 6 billion people will watch it before, the end of the day. It's fine. So yeah, I don't think you will though. I think it makes more sense for them to do it on their own terms. Anyway, that's enough about state of play. Let's move on to Game Mass, Mr. Keeley, which is a lot easier for me because I've not
Yeah.
got hardly anything for Summer Game Fest because my standards for Summer Game Fest have dropped off a cliff.
The 2 years ago was horrible. Last year wasn't much better.
And this year there's a state of play and an Xbox show in between. Like it's wedged
Keeley
between.
has exactly one announcement, and I think that's just about it.
I think he has a couple of announcements.
Yeah.
What do you think the big one is, Hunter? I think we've both got the exact
naturally.
same idea.
It's gonna be Final Fantasy VII Part 3.
Yeah.
It's gonna be its show closer.
You think it's gonna be the show closer?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Dude, he never leads with his best thing.
True, he never does lead with his best thing. Here, right. Yeah, Final Fantasy Part 3 announced. It's probably called Return. I don't want it to be called Return. It sounds awful. But they use Reunion on the stupid spin-off, so we've got we've got nothing we can do about that. Releases early 2027. I think they might just put a date on it, but I don't want to go for it.
I wouldn't be shocked.
My gut feeling is they're still aiming for the 30th
last year.
Yes, they did.
Did they date Rebirth at that one?
Yeah, because pre-orders went open on the day.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked.
My gut feeling is I really want them to aim for that 30th anniversary date, like bang on January, whatever it is. I think is it January 30th or something like that. But
dude, that would be great.
I think it's going to be just over. I think it's going to be the
recorded break on the holiday to Final Fantasy VII as the first episode. That'd be fantastic.
But in my heart of hearts, I think it's probably going to have that same date that Rebirth had, like that final week of February. I think that's probably where it's going to sit.
Oh yeah. Sadly, there won't be,
they can't match it day and day, but
the on-brand leap year date.
But I think that's the big one. I think it won't be a surprise. If you're wondering why do you think it'll be there instead of, obviously it was at the last Summer Game Fest, but I also think with the move of Rebirth and Remake to being multi-platform, I think they want it as a platform agnostic show, so they can say, hey, it's coming to everything, please buy this one, like please buy it. I think they're gonna go all stop. I think they're gonna go literally like balls to the wall on this, Hunter. I think they're going to announce, obviously the game's coming out, I think they're going to announce a triple pack with all three of them for one price. I think that they're going to do like an introductory offer thing where they're like, hey, if you buy the triple pack now, you get the first two, and then they'll do everything where it's like, if you buy it digitally, you'll get the first two now and you can play all the way up to it. They're going to do everything. Yeah, they're literally going to do everything in their power to try and get people caught up. And I can't wait. It'd be great.
Yeah.
I think there's just a couple of smaller things as well. Here's the thing: is I think this will just be Capcom show in disguise. I think there'll be a couple.
I do think there will be a Capcom grab bag of mostly inconsequential announcements like Monster Hunter Hoopla, the Resident Evil DLC.
I've got one for you. Again, I don't know because here's the thing with the DLC is I don't know how far along it is. If Capcom's going to show a game, I think that they show the Code Veronica remake. I think they do it.
Oh.
Because that's clearly the next one on the list. Because they're literally just taking them off as they go. Where it's like we'll do Code Veronica, and then we'll do 0, and then we'll probably do 10, and then we're gonna have to do 5 after that, unfortunately.
Unless they do 1.
Oh, 1. We can't forget they will do 1. Of course they'll do 1. They'll remake 1 again before they go to 5. Let's be real, Hunter. They'll do it again. They will do 0 first though. They'll do Code Veronica and 0 first before 1. They will, That's how that works.
If not for the fact that they've been pretty good about separating them, I would almost not be shocked to see like a kind of 0 and 1 together kind of thing, like they tried to do with the 2 and 3 before they decided against
start them at the same time. Maybe.
I don't think that's gonna be how it turns out. It probably will just be 0 and 1 on their own. But
True. But no, I think that you've got an equal chance of them showing the next one, which is Code Veronica, or the DLC, which I think everyone's in agreement with for Requiem is just going to be a Leon DLC where you play as more Leon, because I think that's kind of, I think Grace's stuff is wrapped up nicely enough, whereas they just, they're like, give the people what they want, more Leon. Like, that's probably what
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
gonna do.
Leon's got enough like leeway with his character where it's not all that. It wouldn't be all that shocking to see him doing some smaller thing before or after. Whereas Grace's story was, like I'd love to see her come back in
I
a
think she
future
will.
game.
I think she was
Yeah,
popular enough that she will come back
yeah,
at some point.
yeah. I think she's well popular, but so that'll be nice. But I do think that adding a DLC would be weird. And I
Yeah.
don't want it to be her mom either. That'd be.
No, I think
I
it'll
don't
be
think
Leon.
that would clash with what was there.
It'll be Leon for sure. But I think, do you know why I was like Code Veronica instead of Requiem DLC? Because I have a friend who's really big into Monster Hunter, and he says that in Monster Hunter terms, it's around now when they announced the big Iceborne expansion. So my gut was, what if Capcom does Monster Hunter DLC and Code Veronica, like they do a new game and a DLC instead of two DLCs? It wouldn't
Oh,
surprise me that Jeff gets two DLCs and that's as good as he gets, and he's like, "Oh, thank you. I guess I'll take anything."
yeah, that'd
Um,
be what he gets.
but yeah, so I've got down here Monster Hunter Wilds DLC, their Iceborne expansion, whatever their equivalent is, will probably be announced for next year. But they like to do big wind ups for these, so they do announce them pretty far in advance. So like Sunbreak for Rise was announced like 6 or 7 months before it came out. So it will be. It's around this time. It's about time for
Yeah.
that. Um, Here's one I have for you. This is to me, this is a Keeley level event. Because again, I was thinking, what third parties would not necessarily show up at a Sony or a Xbox show? And I was like, this might because of Disney. And no, we're not going where you sickos are Square Enix heads. No, sit down. Star Wars Jedi 3.
Ah, okay. So I was gonna bring that up if you didn't get to it, but yeah, this feels like it's about time, and this
Yeah,
is where
that's
it
what
would
I was
be.
thinking. It seems like it seems like a good place for it to go. It
Yeah.
seems about time. I don't think it's coming this year, especially because of GTA. I think it'll
No,
be like
no,
a
definitely
spring.
not.
But it is time. I was looking at the tarot cards and I was like, ah yes, it's time. So yeah, I think that this will show up. And then afterwards, because it's Disney, Keely will go, we have lovely friends at Disney. Kingdom Hearts 4, everybody, and then it's Star Wars, and then Darth Vader's there, and then it's coming out next week. It's gonna be sick. It's gonna be great. Kingdom Hearts
Yeah.
4 forever. I've got it down as a 20% chance that Kingdom Hearts shows up here. And do you know why I put 20% Hunter? Because this seems to
You
me
like the
like one of,
dream.
no, a little bit, but to me, I think Keeley tries to collect franchises like Infinity Stones just because he likes to say he did it. Like, I
Oh yeah,
think that
like
he
a
was
little
knocking on
trophy
from,
case.
I think he was knocking on From Software's door for years just because he wanted to say, I'm the guy that re-revealed Elden Ring. And I think that there's a small sicko part of him that is knocking on Square's door going, let me do Kingdom Hearts. Let me do Kingdom Hearts. Let me do Kingdom Hearts. The weebs will love me. The weebs will love me when I don't put the JRPG in the Game of the Year category again, but they'll forgive me for Kingdom Hearts. So there's a small part of me that genuinely thinks that Jeff wants Kingdom Hearts. I don't think they will give him Kingdom Hearts, but I
I
think
don't
there's a
think they
small
will.
chance. I think there's a small chance. Especially, again, Jeff's done this before.
So,
I feel like again, I don't think it's gonna happen. Small sicko chance where it's like a Square Enix opener and a Square Enix closer. Just basically be like, what do you think? And they'll be like, no. You can have Final Fantasy though.
if they cut to Nomura in the middle of the show, that's the giveaway that it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
'Cause that's
If he
how
makes
it
like
went with
5 Kingdom Hearts jokes during the event, you know it might actually be happening because he
Yeah.
tends to do that.
Yeah, he can't help himself. I am in agreement that when Kingdom Hearts 4 shows up again, it probably will be at one of Keeley's things. I don't think it's now.
He's been
though.
knocking, bro. He wants that. He wants it. He genuinely wants it. To the point where, and I will say this, candidly, if Persona wasn't in a marketing deal with Xbox at the moment, he'd be knocking on that door too. He really wants to. Those are the kinds of games that Keeley wants. Like, genuinely. Like, we all
We'll
joke when
get
he's
him
like,
clout.
we all sit there and we all laugh when he's like showing Honkai Star Rail for the 26th time, but he genuinely does want those games. Like, if they ever make another Nier game, that's another one where he just wants it. He wants games that make him seem legit, that gamers give a crap about. He loves it
Yeah.
when a Call of Duty shows a trailer and stuff like that, because, you know, big numbers. But he wants games that gamers really care about, like Elden Ring, so that he can go, look, me gamer, here game, and then everyone go, wow. And so, like,
And then he constantly shoots himself in the foot with all of his other choices, like ending
exactly,
the last show on high guard.
Exactly. So I do think that Kingdom Hearts will show up at a Keighley show eventually. If I was a betting man, that's a Game Awards thing. If I'm a betting man, that's where I'd say look to Game Awards for that.
I think it's this time next year.
You think it's this time next year? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna be in my 30s before Kingdom Hearts 4. Oh no. What have you got, Hunter?
I guess maybe the date for Final Fantasy VII depending. If they do go for like right for the June or the January, I'm sorry, date for Final Fantasy, then I could imagine them be like, okay, we can give them a little Kingdom Hearts 4 as a treat.
I just want to say, and I want to make this abundantly clear, that we, on this show, roughly about 4 years ago, all joked, well, we didn't even joke, where we were all pretty locked in that we thought that it was going to be Final Fantasy 16, 6 months later, Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, 6 months later, Kingdom Hearts 4. And I just want to say, we're now having the same conversations with the next part of Final Fantasy 7 coming out. This is how screwed the Kingdom Hearts 4 development cycle has been, ladies and gentlemen, is we're still waiting. Like, that's crazy.
Still waiting on the sliver of any existence of Persona 6 too.
We'll get to Xbox in a bit.
Officially.
Anything else for Keighley show for you, Hunter? I've got a couple more if you want. But one's a bit of a banter one.
I got one.
Go on.
I think this is where Ubisoft will officially show Assassin's Creed Black Flag.
Well, they've already shown it, but there will be a trailer.
Yeah.
There'll 100% be a trailer. You can show that. That's true, because they love shoving games. It's out in like, is it out at the start of July, isn't it? So they'll have a trailer for that. If I was a betting man, they'll do like they'll show some of the new stuff, like the new story. There's apparently an epilogue and stuff that they've added to it, so you know they'll show something related to it. I can't wait to play Black Flag again. What a game! To be honest,
the epilogue isn't where he died or whatever, how he dies.
That'd be depressing, wouldn't it? Yeah. The end. If I remember correctly, the ending to the original Black Flag was sad enough. So
yeah. The ending of the original Black Flag was a punch in the throat that I wasn't ready for. But like, like I learned how he died like later, and I was like, well, that's lame.
Yeah. This is a bit of a joke one, right? But I just think it'd be really funny, just because I'd love to see the internet's reaction to it. Nintendo, they throw Keighley a bone. They throw Keighley a bone once every 17 years. And I feel like this is one of them. Because I just want to. I'm just saying this. I want to will this into existence just because I want to read the chat for the 2 minutes that this happens, Hunter. Right? Again, he collects his little Infinity Stones. He loves it, right? I was thinking, what's a low level thing that they could ever chuck Keighley that I'd find extremely funny? Obviously, Keighley loves banging the drum. No, I wish. No. Nate the Hate keeps saying that this is, for whatever reason, he's not confirmed it, but it's on his radar. So it'd be funny if they announced it here, because Keighley so graciously put Xenoblade 3 in his Game of the Year list for that 1 year. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 DE gets a little reveal, and the internet goes fucking livid, and I watch it and I laugh with a little maniacal laugh, because I feel like that is one, the level of game that Nintendo would give Jeff Keighley is a Switch 2 edition. That is the level of game that I think they would give him. And 2, it's Xenoblade 2. So I just love to see the comment section, Steve. If you want an actual game from Nintendo that would be potentially there, I feel like this is a potential Duskblood situation where...
Yeah, that's where I thought you were going before you started joking about the tiers of games that Nintendo's willing to give him.
Yeah, yeah. It's one of them. It's either Xenoblade 2 Switch 2 edition or Duskbloods. Take your pick, Hunter. Which one would you rather see?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man.
I don't know.
Neither one would upset me. I wouldn't be setting my chair on fire like all of the Keely's chat room would. But uh, announcements for Switch 2 editions are always lame.
That's why I think perfect for a Keely show.
Yeah.
One day, one day I hope and I dream that I actually get to talk to Jeff Keighley, and I will just say, whatever you do, don't look up what I've said about you. It's not particularly,
It's not particularly
it's not
nice.
particularly bad, but it's also not particularly good either. Love you, Jeff.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the level. I think that you're not gonna get any Nintendo stuff unless we get a direct later. But
I
if it
think there
was,
will
it
be a
would be
direct sometime in June, yeah.
yeah, probably like second or third week of June. I think it'll be after the fact. But there you go.
You'll probably have a contractually obligated Sonic reveal.
Oh, true. That's actually a good. That's a good guess. That's a good guess.
That one just kind of came to me in the last couple of seconds there.
That's a
I'm
good
like,
guess.
oh yeah, he always has to make a Sonic announcement under duress.
I'll
It
do it for you.
feels.
I'll do it for you. It's the
Sonic
definitive
Heroes.
edition of Sonic Frontiers for Switch 2 and everything else. And it'll be the exact same game, but with like two arbitrary characters that nobody cares about, and then also it runs at a non-abysmal frame rate this time, and you will not be able to upgrade to the new version. You will have to pay full price again, just as the Sega way, unfortunately. 07s. Sorry, I nearly put on the timestamps then Xbox with just a capital X. Of course, it's now Xbox. Now, Hunter, my first prediction for the Xbox showcase, sorry, Xbox, I'm not going to scream it every time. Xbox, my first prediction is that they're going to spend half the time not caring about what actual people think about Xbox, but caring about the small minority of people on Twitter that get really angry when they show a PS5 logo at the end of the trailer. That's where they're going for. Get their core audience in there, mate.
Yeah.
I don't know what their game plan is, but my God, are Xbox fans falling for it hook, line, and sinker? Where I'm sitting there and it's like they're doing the same thing that Phil did, where it's like we're going to get buddy with the extremely toxic side of this community and care about, you know, logos at the end of trailers and all that jazz, but we're not going to talk about the fundamental issues with Xbox, which is game delays like Fable and the kind of atmosphere of what is the point of Xbox in this current ecosystem. Like, I find it fascinating that this is where they are standing, where we have the CEO of Xbox going, yeah, guys, it was a mistake that we said we'd put a PS5 logo at the end of the trailers. Ignore the fact that we have been trying to put out a forest fire of these console issues for the past 5 years. It's the logos,
Yeah,
you're right.
It's real stupid.
I just don't
Their
get it.
whole, like, the thing that baffles me is that, you know, ever since the position switched or whatever, people have been like, oh, I like what I'm hearing or whatever. I was going, what are they actually doing?
Bro. It's the same tune.
Maybe it's because I'm not super zeroed in on what's going on because I don't really care. But it seems like they're not doing that much.
I mean,
differently.
As someone who does care about capital Xbox, I think the issue stems to me is it's all surface level and it's all nothing. Why are you going out of your way to appease and talk to the most toxic of your community when there are actual fundamental issues with what your current ecosystem is and how you go about it? I don't care that you've changed the way that your name is capitalized. I don't care that you've changed the Xbox logo from a white Xbox logo back to a green Xbox logo. I don't care that you're having arguments on if there should be game logos at the end of trailers because toxic parts of your fan base, for whatever reason, think that is the problem with Xbox. Whereas fundamentally the problem with Xbox is your lack of games and the fact that you've made a subscription service that cannot sustain itself. Those are the two issues where I'm sitting there going, there's no reason for me to own a console and there's no reason for me to subscribe unless Xbox is my sole ecosystem. Those are my
Yeah.
two core fundamental issues. Not that the theme of the dashboard has changed or the fucking capitalized Xbox logo. Like, I think that it's like, why are you caring so much about this vocal minority when you should be focusing on making the experience actually better for people? And it's the same with
Yeah.
Sony, where it's like,
Certainly. No, like, yeah.
it's just like it's just a fundamental thing where I'm sitting there and I'm like, you've got good games. Like, I've been playing Horizon 6, and I adore Forza Horizon 6. I think it's brilliant. Have played plenty of games where I'm sitting there thinking, like, I play a lot of the Xbox exclusives when I get a chance to, and I sit there and I go, they're pretty damn good. It's like, I'm the number 2 fan of Starfield. There's only 2 of us, and Greg Miller's better, like, more a fan than me, but, I'm number 2 there, right?
Yeah.
It's just, I think that it's like, why do you care so much what these really toxic online people care about? That's like if PlayStation started listening to the absolute, like, the dolls in the fucking depths of hell that PlayStation fanboys talk about. Like,
Yeah, it's like if they reprimanded Naughty Dog for the blowback that Last of Us 2 got or
it's
something,
just,
you know?
it's just stupid. It just really is. Can you start focusing on the actual problems of your ecosystem and not like these like easy wins that aren't easy and
Yeah,
not
like try
wins?
maybe focus on doing something about those next consoles that you insist on making that no one's going to be able to afford.
That no one's going to be able to afford. Exactly. Or maybe let's start
Kick them
focusing
down the
on,
road.
yeah. Or maybe let's start
Make the
focusing on
generation you're on mean something.
genuinely, or like at least start listening to your actual audience instead of the really toxic people online. Like, I talk to people who play on Xbox all the time, like who are like either I have friends basically who are they're in that ecosystem. That's where they play, right? And it's like, do you think they care about day and date exclusivity or if there's logos at the end of trailers? No, they just want good games. That's the fundamental issue of Xbox is good games. Let's get some good games going. Like, we all assume that third-party games are going elsewhere. Why are we caring about logo? I don't care. I'm not going on this rant.
Yeah,
Anyway, if you're a toxic Xbox fan, I hope you get
this is
nothing.
not the show for you.
If you're a toxic PlayStation fan, I hope you also fucking get nothing. But let's be honest, have you seen the games lineup? You're already getting nothing, so you're already losing PlayStation
That's
fanboys.
very
Get in the
true.
bin. Um, Xbox Showcase. I think there's a load of boring stuff that we can get out of the way. I think that they'll show Gears of War at the end. I think that they will show a Halo trailer with a release date. I think they will show a Fable trailer with a 2027 now on it. I think that they
Yeah.
will show anything else that I was like, they will definitely show.
Did they specify when in 2027 or Fable
No,
was going to come out, or did they just
early
say it's going to be
February.
early?
It'll be February. It'll be out in February. Um,
That feels like I feel like it'll take that avowed spot as far as
yeah,
time on the calendar. I feel like it'll probably be a rung or two above avowed as far as the reception.
yeah. I think
Because
that
Fable, to its credit, does look really good.
they've already said February. February 2027.
Okay.
And if I was a betting man, I think they'll just give you the date at this trailer. I just think they will. I think they'll probably give you the date as well. I think it's just been moved because of GTA.
Yeah.
But Hunter, I want you to brace yourself, mate. That trailer will end, and there'll be a PlayStation logo at the end of it. So I hope you like prepare your heart for that when you see it, just in case. Don't want you to be too livid. I don't get why people care. If PlayStation started showing Xbox logos, I wouldn't give a crap. I genuinely wouldn't.
Yeah.
Same with Nintendo. In fact, it'd do me a job because I could at least watch a trailer and go, oh cool, it's coming to that one too. Sick. Save me a job,
Yeah,
mate.
yeah. Like it's not
Anyway,
until the boxes start showing up where it looks kind of weird, like the Halo PlayStation box or whatever.
don't worry, Hunter. I don't think I have to worry about that too much longer. You're just getting the one Halo, guys. Just the one. What a shame. Yeah, I think you get.
Too bad it
I
wasn't
think.
Reach.
I think you get Halo in August. I think you get obviously Fable will be 20. I think you get Halo first. You get Gears in like September, October time. GTA will cover like the November time, and then you get Fable later. I think that's the play. I think that's the plan. Shall we get into some more interesting stuff? Stuff that we care about. Persona 4
Yes.
Revival. Let's talk about Persona 4 Revival. It will be here at the Xbox show. I think you get a proper look at it this time. And do you know what my prediction will be, Hunter? That it actually looks like a video game this time, where we
It
actually
actually
don't laugh
looks
at it.
respectable
Yeah.
this time, yeah.
There's a small part of me that knows that it's going to go in that February slot. It's going to go in that Persona 3 Reload slot. There's a small part of me that wishes it would come earlier, just because it's looking like Persona 6 is next year as well. And similar to Metaphor Syndrome, where it was like, I was like a bit too much Atlas in one year, where I'm like, it's good, but a bit spread them out a little bit. But I think it'll be February next year. I don't think it's coming out this year.
Yeah, I don't think it will either. I think February
I think it'll
is...
look brilliant though. I think it'll
Oh
look
my
great.
god. Although, if our calendar for next year is accurate, that's going to be a lot of RPG in the first 2 months of the year with Final Fantasy, Fable, and
Can't wait.
Persona.
Can't wait.
My god.
It's gonna be great. But no, my genuine reaction is, my prediction is that Revival is showing off. It'll have a February release date, and I think it'll look brilliant. I genuinely think that we'll look at it and we'll go, we had nothing to worry about.
Yeah. Which
And I think,
I never
and I
really
think you'll
worried
also
to
get-
begin
yeah.
with. It was just like, oh yikes, that is pretty early when they showed it the first time.
It's clear that they only showed it because they had to, because it had been leaked.
Yeah.
But, and if I was a betting man as well, I think this is, you'll get your full blowout. You'll get your new voice cast. You'll get everything. I think that Yuri will play some side character. I think that, they'll do the same things that they did with Reload. But I think the big difference is, because it's next gen only, I think that this game will look really good. And not to say that Reload didn't look great, but there were times in Reload where you looked at it and you were like, it's a bit like the dorms, where you're just sitting there and you're like, what is this lighting? It was very PS2-esque, shall we say. I think this game's going to look great. It's going to be good. We're going to have a great time. Here's the thing, Hunter. I don't think Atlas is stupid enough to announce 2 Persona games at one time.
No, I don't.
But
think
these
they
leaks
would.
happening around this time does make me feel like, is there a chance that they do a teaser of some sort? My gut is they save it till like the big anniversary in September. That's my gut check, is they save it.
Yeah. Maybe Game Awards.
Maybe Game Awards, but
You were talking about how Keeley is knocking down the
he is
doors
knocking
for
down
the
the door.
Infinity
But
Stones.
Xbox also, I wouldn't surprise me. Phil was knocking down that Persona door though, and he's
Yeah, Phil is gone.
True. Maybe Ash is not a Persona fan. Really. Maybe she's not a Persona fan. I think there's a small chance. I don't think you do though. If you do, it'd be
Yeah.
a very small, like, Persona 5 level of teaser where they show nothing off. Obviously, we've had some leaks this week about Persona 6. Guys, you'll never believe it. There will be a protagonist, and the color is green. Who would have guessed? We've known it being green since the 25th anniversary of Persona because of the fucking paint bucket. So it's like we've known for a while. But I will say though, from the couple of designs that I've seen and from the ones that seem to be legit, there's some pretty good designs there where I'm sitting there and I'm going, oh, hello, we're cooking again. We're cooking again. I don't know. It's one of those things where I don't want to see anything because I just would like to experience it, because this will probably be my only Persona game before I'm like in the old folks' home. So we might as well like enjoy it while we can.
That you can like experience blind in real time.
Yeah. But it is nice. Someone said to me the other day, because I was talking to them about Persona 6, and they're like, if that game comes out next year and it's set like Persona 5 is, because it's like, for those of you who don't know, like the Persona 5 cast was born roughly same like age gap as us, right? So we're like the same age because they were like 98, 99.
Yeah.
Same kind of, age as us. That this cast will be born in 2010. They'll be born
Yikes.
after Persona 3.
That's okay, because they're video game characters. They can be born in 2010. That's a fake birthday.
Yeah, it's just not real, is it? It's like,
Yeah.
my rule is anyone
That's
born
made up.
like I'm sorry.
So
if
was
you're born...
2005.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not it, is it? But I'm just sitting there. It's like the fact that we can
People
play
younger than my sister aren't real.
True. I respect that. I respect that. But yeah, 2010. Oof. Anyway, Got Halo. Uh, Here's one for you, Hunter, so that you feel like there's at least something for you. Uh, Doom DLC. I think Doom's gonna get DLC. It
Uh,
seems to be teasing Doom DLC. I think you get Doom
yeah, that would.
DLC.
Eternal did have some, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I never played the Eternal DLC, so
DLC's for
you know.
nerds, but you know,
Yeah,
you'll
yeah.
you'll hear a
But
bit of some.
at least I'll see something.
Yeah.
I'll hear the chuggy guitars. Hopefully, a cool new weapon, and I'll be like, neat. It stimulated my
Neato.
brain for 2 minutes.
But I think, yeah, you'll get that. I'm 50-50 on this. What's your 50-50 on odd?
I think there's a decent chance we see it here.
I'm
Death
with you.
Stranding's out. This is
He's got
clearly
to have been
this is
working on
clearly
something.
gonna come out before Fizzant.
Yeah. Is it sad though? Like, here's the thing, right? The problem with OD is OD's a horror game, and
Sure
I'd
is.
have no interest in an OD. I'm never gonna play OD because I'm not a big fan of the. I know what Kojima's going for with it, and it's just not up my alley at all. So I'd much rather have the conversations of, hey guys, is Robert Pattinson the not Solid Snake in Fizzant? Because let's look at that concept art again. It kind of looks like Robert Pattinson. Let's have that conversation. But if we have to talk
Here we
about
go with
OD,
that again. People just keep trying to assign him to things. Remember when they wanted
get him in.
when they thought he was Gustav?
Dude, do you think I care? Did you think I'm gonna sit there and complain? No, don't put Robert Pattinson in my Hideo Kojima game, please don't. Of course, get him in there. I'm surprised he hasn't already been conscripted into the Kojima clan anyway.
Yeah.
Get him in
What's
there.
Kojima's opinions on the Batman?
He probably loved it. He probably loved it.
Probably, yeah.
It's absolute cinema. But yeah, I think you might get odd here. I think
Yeah.
he's got to be working on it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if we saw it and they had like a not a date, but come with a 2027 on the end.
To me, it's a smaller project. To me,
Yeah.
It's a more experimental thing. So it wouldn't surprise me if it does come out next year. But there you go. I think you'll get some boring stuff here, unfortunately. You'll probably State of Decay 3 will probably show up again because that game has been like in and out of dev for like forever, so that'll probably show up again. You will, even though they've just revealed it to save us the paying, there will be a Modern Warfare 4 trailer. They just will. They're
If it pretends to be something else, I am going to commit some kind of crime.
I don't think they'll pull that again. I don't think they'll pull that ever again.
I hope not. I don't know. I don't think Angry Evil Within fans are numerous enough for them to have cared. There's only a dozen of us.
No, but that campaign was that awful. I don't think they'll ever do that high quality of CGI again, ever. I think that the beta switch was too powerful. Yeah, so I think you'll get that. Very boring. Again, this is just like stuff that I think Clockwork Revolution, you'll probably see Clockwork Revolution again. Which, if you guys remember,
have an even longer trailer this year?
I'm aiming for 20 minutes. I think the third of the show is going to be a Clockwork Revolution.
Still no date or window.
However long the Wolverine one is, double it and give it to the next one. You know what I mean? Like, that's what the Clockwork Revolution trailer will be.
Dude, I think I went through like every stage of grief during that trailer because at first I was like, yeah, this game looks kind of cool.
Had enough now.
I was ready for it to be over like minute 2, and it just kept
I've
going.
had enough now.
I'm sitting
I've had
here
enough
like,
now. I've had enough now.
Please,
make it stop. Make it stop. But no, I think you'll get another one. You'll probably get a date on that as well. Here's one for the hunters out there. I think you'll get a trailer for Resonance: A Plague Tale Legacy. That has the Xbox
it showed up
advertising
at
all
the
over it.
last one, didn't it?
So I think you'll get something for that.
And it
more
comes out
concrete.
in like September or something.
Yeah.
So I think they'll show you more of it.
And then we get into more fun stuff. Have you got anything more safe? I've got some fun stuff.
Not especially, no.
Okay. Fun stuff time then. First one. Hollow Knight Silksong DLC. I think this is where it comes. The Xbox show. They had the branding deal with Xbox for a while. I think it'll carry on. I think it'll be a shadow drop as well. I genuinely think they'll just go, it's out.
No, you think they'll just be like, aha, here it is?
Yeah. Of course they will. It'll be on a random Sunday as well, so every storefront will crash. It'll be great. But yeah, I think you see Silksong DLC here. I think it makes sense. I think that they're the kind of people that'll just drop this wherever they feel like. If not, it'll be very close, where it'll be like 2 weeks. It'll be like it's coming out
Yeah.
within June. But that'd be my bet on that. My gut's telling me it won't be here, but also my gut's telling me that Deathloop came out 5 years ago. Blade.
We haven't heard anything about it since that announcement.
And it's
Which
still
was
being made.
a while
They've
ago.
they've confirmed they're still working on it. I think you see Blade.
Yeah.
It's been long enough. I think.
Dude, that
you
was
start
something that
seeing
got
it.
like fake canceled last year or something
Yeah.
during that slew of right after or in the same week that Perfect Dark did.
Yeah. So I think you see it here. I think you'll have a great time. Here's my big one. And it's big for me because it's big for everybody because it's coming back with a vengeance this time. But I think it's Time Hunter. Spyro 4. Toys for Bob. I think you see it here. And I think it's gonna happen. I'm gonna will it into existence.
Xbox's thing and not Keighley.
Yeah, because it's an Xbox brand. It's Xbox's IP.
Well, yeah, but I don't know.
Xbox will not give anything to Keighley at all. I'll take it. Hey, if it's on Friday, that's even better because it's 2 days earlier. I don't even have to watch the Xbox show if that's the case. That saves me a job. I'll be too busy going on a stag and then just probably getting extremely drunk and just screaming Spyro 4. That'll be what I'll do. That'll be my weekend. But no, I think it's time. They've been working on it for 3 and a bit years. I think
Working on
that
something anyway.
they've been working. It is Spyro. It is Spyro. So I think this is what's happening. I think it'll be Spyro 4. The interesting thing and the hard thing to quantify is, and I guess it can happen because Rayman's going to be in the exact same boat where it's announced and released in a couple of months, is Activision has this cycle where they don't announce games before they're ready to put a date on it and ship. So I guess I'm saying that if Spyro 4 is announced, that it's going to come out in like September and ship, because that's the kind of release dates they give, because Crash 4 was literally announced in June, released in September. So it's like, this is what they do, is they try to, it's within 6 months. It's they do, don't just like try. I know, I was shocked. I looked it up as well.
No, it's just, I don't know. 2020 was a weird year. I remember being stuck at the bench at work watching the Crash Bandicoot announcement, but it felt like it was earlier in the year than June.
No, it was like it for whatever reason, this is how they do it, and most of the time it's usually 6 months. So usually, if we're looking at June, it wouldn't surprise me if they tried to skew it a little bit, where it's like announced in June, releases in March, maybe like a 9-month kind of period. But Activision does not like to announce games before they're good to go. So there's a part of me
they always have them on the hamster wheel.
So there is a part of me that's like, hey, maybe they save it for Keighley's for Game Awards so they can release it in June, like a normal game. But I don't know. I feel like it's time. My other one is if that doesn't happen, then I'm huffing the copium on the other side, dude. Crash Team Racing, the Beanox leak. We're going off both of them. Hit them from both sides. If it's not one, it's the other. And hear me out. I feel like a kart racer in September, October might be a better and easier sell, because everything else that's coming around that time is all dude bro shooters and guns and stuff like that. Here's one for the kids, because
everything else has a campaign. You know?
Yeah, this is the time. I'm just saying, Activision, if that leak was just by chance, someone at Beanox had done some Crash Team Racing concept art that just happened to be brand new, you absolute lunatics. Now's the time. Mario Kart World is fucking trash. Release a new game. This is your chance to take over the world.
I think the Sonic one lost its legs too. Like, I don't think people
Sonic
care
fans
about it
can
anymore.
only be Sonic fans have ADHD. They can only focus on something for about 2 seconds and then they lose interest, even their own games. But now's the time. Give me one or the other. Again, I there's a part of me that's like, it should be a Game Awards thing. Release it in June. Have it be normal. But you know, because like October, November for Spyro seems very rogue, especially when you've got,
Spyro's like a
GTA.
summery game, I feel.
Reignited was September, but then it got delayed to November because of development stuff. So it actually Spyro was a November game, so it could be November. COD is also October, so you could do first week of November. You could do it. if you wanted to. Release it on my birthday. What's on my birthday's on a Saturday. Release it on the day before my birthday. That'd be sick. Do it. But yeah. Anything else? Gears of War, Hollow Knight, Fable, Grass. It's the same list that we always say. They'll release them eventually. One day.
Yeah.
Man can dream.
Surely. Release or cancel them.
Yeah. If you were to order them, Hunter, how would you order them in terms of hype? Where are you? If you could only watch one, which one would you watch?
Probably PlayStation's thing.
I do realize that was a coughing baby versus hydrogen bomb question there, where it was like, if you could choose one of these, which would you watch? The one that is
dude, I feel like regardless
of
what you,
War,
yeah, I feel like regardless of what permutation of like even okay, so if you take PlayStation out of the equation and it's just the usual fare of Jeff's thing versus Xbox's show, like we get for most years. Xbox's show has proven to be better than his most of the time. So I would have.
There's a tier list here where it's like my tier list here is PlayStation because they haven't had one of these big events in a while. So it's like PlayStation's at the top, then Xbox, then Keighley. That's the order. Even though I know I'm gonna get remake part 3 in Keighley's, it's still at the bottom because I can just watch that trailer on YouTube afterwards to save myself 2 hours.
Yeah.
So it's like that's the permutation, right? But I'm looking forward to all of them. I'll give all of them a go. Maybe I might be late on the Xbox thing because like I say, I am actually away and I'm coming back and I will be here just in time, so I might miss it. But we'll see. And don't you worry, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be catching you up next week with all of the reactions, the reporting. We'll be live on the scene, and by live I mean after they've all happened, so that we can correctly tally up the scores and see how correct we were. I think at 100%, dude. I think everything that I've said is going to come true. We're going to get Spyro and Crash Team Racing, and they're both coming out this year. It's true. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. Normally, if we were normal, we'd stop the podcast here, but unfortunately, there was a new game. Let's talk about 007.
Unfortunately, there was a new game. We talked entirely too long about predicting shows, like we always do.
If only we hired the guy from Jeff Keighley's shows that says "Time to wrap it up." Please wrap it up. We could have done with that. Let's talk about 007. James Bond is a character that was created by Ian Fleming that has been around for a long time. I'm not a James Bond fan. I don't mean that in the fact that I don't like James Bond. It's just I've never seen a James Bond film, surprisingly. I'm British and I have not seen a James Bond film. Shame on me.
I feel like your blood is like made of acid or something if that's the case, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I've not got anything against James Bond. I'd like to see a James Bond film. I've seen like half of Casino Royale, I think, and
that's like the one I've seen. And then I think I saw part of Skyfall or something. It was on at a friend's place.
This is like when I say, though, that I have never fully watched all of the Star Wars films, but I've played the Lego Star Wars game, so I feel like I've experienced it, you know? Like, that's, like, this is how I live my life. If they'd made a Lego James Bond game, I would have played through all the films and be very up to date. But I'm a massive fan of IO Interactive. The world of Assassination, the Hitman trilogy is fantastic. It's brilliant. So I was, like I say, you're making a 007 game with the guys that did Hitman, and it's basically Hitman but Uncharted. I'm like, okay, you've got my interest. I guess I'll give this little game a dabble. And I've played quite a bit of it. I played about 9 hours of it. I wanted it done, but life got in the way. Darn it. I'm literally, other than editing the podcast tomorrow as of recording, I've got no plans because my plans is to literally just sit here and gremlin the rest of 007 First Light. That's my plans for tomorrow. How much have you played, Hunter?
I'd say about like 3-4 hours maybe. I got just after the first like major car chase.
Oh yes. You've done. I don't think this is a spoiler here. You're basically in the middle of the state of play demo from a couple of months ago, basically, aren't you? You're like,
yeah, just about.
You've done the hotel bit. Now you're in the car chase, and you've got the airport bit to go, like that bit. So you're right in the middle of a bit that everybody's seen, so it's fine. I'm a bit later than that. I'm about 2/3 of the way through the game, I think. It's very hard to quantify how long this game is because
I feel like the plot related trophies have been popping at weird intervals so far.
they have, and also one compliment that I do want to give this game is that its pacing is so far fantastic. And what I mean by that is I have not yet felt like there has been a bit of downtime where I'm sitting there going that in a lot of these games there'll be a bit where you're just sitting there and you're like, oh, this is the padding bit where they've got to get to the 20 hours. Where I'm actually sitting, there's a lot of where even in the missions that I'm doing, where I'm always sitting there and I'm like, this doesn't feel like a filler mission. This still feels like doing stuff that's like
Yeah,
very
yeah.
impactful. It's
Or
weird because
even
James Bond is a
when they started me and it was like, oh, basic training montage or whatever. I'm like, oh, I don't want to be doing. I'm gonna be doing this for like an hour and a half before I get to do anything real, and that was not the case. And I'm like, oh, well, good for you.
great use of the SSD as well with the
Yeah.
swapping time of day and locations like that. There's a lot of stuff in this game where I'm sitting there, and IO Interactive are fantastic, but there's a lot of stuff where I'm sitting there and I'm like, can you guys start taking notes? Like other developers, can you start taking notes? For example, you know, we've seen a lot of people use the SSD to make load times a lot quicker and do this and that. But one of the most impressive things that I've seen is in this game is playing real time cutscenes like they're a movie and having a cutscene go from one location to a completely different location all in real time instantly with no transition or anything, like it's a movie. Like in that scene where they go to the hotel and it cuts from being in Moneypenny's office on the screens to straight away as everything's talking, and I'm like, oh, you've just loaded the whole level in the background while we're doing that. And I'm like,
Yeah.
there's no tomfoolery, there's no trickery there. It's all in engine. Like it's not, there's no video file playing over it. And I'm like, that's magic. That's movie magic. You're not doing the even small bits where it's like putting Bond straight to the left after a cutscene, and there's none of that video gamey like you've got to walk to the lift and do this. I'm like, there's just a lot of stuff where I'm just sitting there. And I'm like, man, I wish people would take notes. I'm like, this is brilliant. It feels like I'm playing a film, like properly. Like there's a lot of little bits and pieces there where I'm like,
Yeah, like
some cool
anytime you have
witchcraft.
the free reign to explore a spot that isn't in the mission, it's always like you can actually go and look at cool things, like in the little weapons lab.
Mm-hmm.
You can go and talk to the engineers and see them make their flamethrower exhaust pipes or whatever they're doing.
Yeah. Um, there's just a lot of cool things where I'm sitting there and there's a lot of scene transitions and stuff that I'm like, again, it's going back to that kind of Uncharted kind of era where it's like I miss it. The amount of open world games where I've just been watching cutscenes with really bad lip syncing and not very good camera work, where it's just two static cameras looking at two models that are both a bit off. To go into actually having these character cutscenes again, and you know, it's so well done. Like these cutscenes are so well done, and it's again, it's all in engine. Like I'm looking at these characters in the end, like playing the game. I'm like, there's no difference. Like modern Ubisoft games, there's very much a difference between pre-rendered cutscene character model and what's happening in the game. I love Black Flag. I've noticed a bit of that in Black Flag Resynced on a couple of cutscenes. When it's mocapped, it's phenomenal. When it's not, it's like two sock puppets talking to each other. It's like the Muppets, where it's just like everything's a bit off.
Yeah, or even like something like in Final Fantasy Rebirth, there was the
That perfect
parts
example.
there were the parts of the game where I thought it looked pretty good already, but there were the parts of the game where it was like, this looks unnaturally good all of the sudden.
Yeah.
Where it'd be like they just turned up the super rendering for like the golden saucer intro or like the bit right at the end.
But it was just like there's just a lot of character models where and just there's a lot of moments in this game. I'm playing it on PS5 Pro. You're playing it on PS5.
Sure am.
I've got piss of technology everywhere, mate. So I'm sorry, I'm flexing on you. I can't tell the difference. But I'm playing this game and it's just like it's weird because it's like I'm not usually like I'm not a huge graphics snob, really. I prefer if the game runs well, like the frame rates. I care more about that than I do about if the game looks. I'll always be like that's pretty, or oh, I really like the look of that. They'll be like
You've
that.
actively rebelled against ray tracing as a thing.
I have
It's
actively
like
rebelled
you're
against ray tracing. I
that's
do
like
not
your
care.
bee in your bonnet there.
Dude, I don't care, dude. Oh wow, the puddle's reflection looks nice and my frame rate's tanked. I don't care. I'd rather have the frames, bro. I'd rather have the frames. But it's just like I am just sitting. I'm just like sitting there and constantly looking at scenes and going, "Wow, that looks gorgeous." When you go to the training area for the first time and it's just like all the dust in the air and all that jazz, I'm like, "Oh, this
Yeah.
looks so good." Or just looking at the character models and going, "Oh my god!" Like it's
There's
been
something
a while since I've seen character
really,
models this good.
yeah, or like just the way they lay things out, it's got a lot of personality to it. Like when you're following M the first
Hmm.
time into like the computer room or
Yeah,
something, the automatic doors being rifled like the barrel of a gun.
yeah.
I was like, oh, that's cool.
Hmm.
I was like, oh, that's neat. It looks like the classic, intro thing.
The 007
Uh,
tunnel, yeah, the little gun
yeah,
barrel
I
tunnel
was
thing.
like,
I'm like, oh, that's
that's real cool. Or did you notice that they have the Saros haptics that like imitate the sound?
yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that when I was doing the club level.
Hmm. But it's just looking at like just looking at different areas and looking at it. But I'm just being like, it's been a while since I've played a game that is just so well done. And what I mean by that is, and it's like it's a lot easier to do this with a linear game because you can focus everything. You can focus on everything in very high detail. And that's like
Yeah,
kind of what I miss is the like going through the
some
apartment
level
for the
of
first time.
intent.
Yeah. Like Bond and his two mates, who I cannot remember the name of for the life of me. The two recruits that you end up
Cressida
picking, Cressida
and
and
what's his name?
other guy, Blondie.
What's his name? Oh man.
Even you've forgotten his name.
The annoying thing is like I remembered his name while I was playing the game, and hers was what slipped my mind.
Um, but anyway, just walking through their apartment with them two and just having a look around. It's just like I've not been in a play space like this for a while. Because even like games that do have play spaces like this, it's a part of an open world game and there's 6 million other things to be doing and this and that and
Yeah,
it's like things drop off and there's like I'm just like it's just like playing through it's just I'm just marveling at it every little bit. I'm just like this is such a good looking game. And thankfully it plays as good as it looks. I'm having a blast with this game. It's still got those Hitman qualities. It's not you're not playing this game for Hitman. It's definitely not Hitman. But it still
yeah. If you're
has
like a stealth purist or whatever, you probably want to look elsewhere. But there's
it
enough of
still
it to
has yeah,
make it
there's
more interesting than most of Uncharted's gameplay would be.
yeah, because it's like the way I've kind of described it is it's still mini sandboxes, but instead of
Yes,
having 6 million ways of being able to do anything, there's two or three,
there's
and
like
it points you in
4,
that right direction.
you know.
Kind of it wiggles you into the right direction. Like the first big one of these is the one that's from the state of play, so I don't feel like we're spoiling too much. You're kind of breaking into a hotel that's got a chess tournament happening, and you've got to try and figure out. There's a weird bellhop who's doing some stuff. You got to figure out what's happening, right? And it's like the first kind of hurdle that you come across is Bond can't get into the event because he doesn't have a way to access it because he doesn't have a pass or anything like that. So you can do those Hitman kind of activities. You can figure out how to get a pass and get in the normal way. You can just break in and climb around the area and do some, stuff like that. They're very simple in comparison to Hitman, but it still gives you those options of being able to wiggle your way through into the area. And I think it's, it's enough for me to feel like I'm making a choice, It might not necessarily lead to anything different like Hitman does, but the risk isn't as high either. You're Bond. I think
Yeah,
what I love about this game, one of my favorite mechanics is the bluff mechanic. I think it's brilliant.
I really enjoy that. I enjoy that it just works for
Hmm.
everything except for like the watcher designated people,
Yeah.
where you can be like, they'll just say anything and they'll be like, oh, I can. Because, like, there's an element of truth to that. If you just act like you belong there,
Yeah.
people fold.
Yeah, 100%. And it's something that's so, very Bond is just walk into an area and just go, "Hey, I'm supposed to be here," and everyone go, "Okay, I guess." Like, let's just roll with it. And I just love how you have like you basically have a bullshit meter where you have like you have basically a charisma stat. It's not really, but it's like you have like a charge, and it's like if you use a bluff, fair enough, but you can only do it so many times before people catch on. Okay,
Yeah,
who's this
before you
guy
have
that
to like
everybody's
do other things first or
yeah.
whatever.
Um, or just little
Uh,
stealth things where it's like, Hitman is, 007 is very much known for having all these stupid gadgets, whether it's explosive rubber ducks or, needles with injections that you can have. And they've very much bondified all of them. They're all in your wristwatch, or, there'll be like things in
the
a
little
lighter and
phone
stuff like
dart.
that. Yeah, the phone dart. But they're all just snappy and they're quick and they work.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I
Like
really appreciate that.
I think the only thing that I might have a mild uh and it's really something that I'll get
Hmm.
used to as I play the game more, but the way they chose to map the buttons
Yeah, it's a
kind
little
of
bit
has
annoying.
been throwing me off. Like
Yeah.
the sprint button that doesn't actually make you run very fast
Mm.
being on R1. I don't know who decided that, but they shouldn't have.
Yeah, it's a bit
Um,
weird.
but I'll get used to it. I'll get over it. It's been all right. My favorite thing, aside from the bluff mechanic being a lot of fun, is the R2 grab and just throw someone into the
Oh,
wall.
it's brilliant. It's
It's
brilliant.
so satisfying. It's like I respect that there's a few different ways I could be doing this melee encounter, but I like this the most.
Again, it solidified me with like the hand to hand combat and the way it works. People like they don't even teach you there's combos that you can do. If you hold buttons, you'll do different moves and stuff like that. Um it again, I was sitting there and I was like, this it feels like an evolution of Uncharted 4. Like, there's the move in the Uncharted 4 where you can grapple hook and you can let go and you can jump on people and punch them in the face. And it
Yeah,
feels like, let's cut the middleman. Let me just grab the guy and throw him over the cliff with me. And then I just
yeah,
do that and it's just like it's just so much fun. Again, it's got that kind of it knows when to be serious and there are serious moments in this game and it still very much is. It very much is Bond, right? It has its light-hearted moments, it has its flirty moments, but it also has its serious moments. And I think what they managed to do is the gameplay never feels out of place. You'll always have, for as much as I love Uncharted 4's combat and Uncharted, there'll always be Nathan Drake, he's the nicest guy in the world, but he's killed 60,000 people together, blah, 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 narrative dissonance and all that jazz. There's none of that in Bond. There genuinely isn't any of that because, one, they have all the gameplay locked around it. For example, the license to kill mechanic, which is basically, if you don't know, you basically have to get into a shit ton of trouble before the game goes, okay, you can
here
start
you go.
shooting. You get your gun out. Which I think is brilliant. I just again, it's
Yeah,
in
I like
universe,
that
but
getting caught doesn't equate to like it's not like Hitman or even Metal Gear Solid where right away people are just gonna spawn out the wazoo to
yeah.
murder you. You can disarm the situation
If two
relatively
people if
quick.
two people catch you and you're quick, you can just disarm them really quickly and beat them up, and then there you
Yeah.
go. You're back into stealth, which I really appreciate.
Yeah, it
Um,
feels more in line with like what you would see happen in a James Bond thing, where it'd be like, smack him around, adjust his bow tie, and move on.
I think it's also there's a difference in areas, right? So you'll have one level like the one you've done where you're in a very kind of public visible area. You're working for the CIA. It's very much not suitable to be going around with a gun shooting everybody. There are missions later where you're in more shady areas, so you might get that license to kill easier, but still, I was not playing it. Like Uncharted, I don't give a crap about stealth. I'll just start rat-a-tat-tatting everybody. I don't give a monkeys. But
Dude, I think the only reason I ever went with Uncharted stealth was because in the earlier games I didn't like the gunplay at all. So
yeah,
I was
true.
like, the fewer the least amount of actual confrontation I have to do, the
Yeah.
better.
Whereas in this game, it's like, yes, I could start shooting, or it's like I could very much get caught, so I can make this easier for myself. But there's so many options, and you get so many your toolbox is that wide that it's like I don't need to. I'm having too much fun being Bond, actually being a spy, stealthing around and having a good time. Which is, I want to say, the biggest compliment I can give is I think the stealth is that good that I'm trying to stealth all the time when the gunplay is as fun as it is. The gunplay in
Yeah.
this game is brilliant. And this is coming from someone who does not like the gunplay in Hitman. I think the gunplay in Hitman is its weakest flaw, which is great because it's a stealth game. But also,
Yeah,
when you
that's
get caught,
probably a
you
very intentional thing.
yeah. Whereas this game, it's so much fun. Like, my
You
God,
can
the
kneecap
guns are
someone, you can
snappy.
disarm them. It's
Yeah, the
great.
guns are snappy. There's different ways to dispose of. My favorite thing about this game is they roughly give you about 9 bullets in your gun. Then there's
Oh,
no way to
yes,
really
yes.
pick up mags. Why? Because you're Bond, you've got to improvise. And I think there's nothing more fun than shooting a couple of people down, having somebody running at you, you throwing the gun at them because that's your weapon to disarm them, pick up their gun, bang, there you go. And it's just like, it's so fun to run around like that and just
If that
dispose of
John Wick
people.
game that they announced earlier this year is like
Yeah.
that's a good sign. Because that's something that when I did that, I was like, oh, this is like the John Wick thing. They give him a 7-round pistol and he has to just smack people around and steal their bullets
And
and
I think,
improvise from there, and it's great.
and I think it's like, it's great that there are all these options and everything. Like I say, it just works. It just plays so damn well where I'm just sitting there and I'm like I say, I'm not having a bad time. Like, I'm just sitting there and I'm just having a good time and I'm just enjoying it. And there's nothing that isn't clicking. And this is coming from someone like I say, I'm not a James Bond fanatic. I have watched half a
Yeah.
James Bond film. I've seen clips and bits and pieces here and there. Enough to go that if I did see a James Bond film, I'd probably have a good time. Like, I know that I
Yeah,
probably
they're
would like
probably.
it enough.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm sitting there and everything's just clicking where I'm like, this is brilliant. This is great. The characters,
The characters are really good.
they're all great. They're all great. And I think that,
Like, I forget what Cressida's line earlier when I was playing was, but she said something that made me laugh real hard. I was like, oh, that's hilarious.
I really like Cressida. I think she's great.
Yeah.
I like all of them. I like the other guy that we can't remember his name of.
The other guy whose name
He's
is
a funny guy as
escaping
well.
us.
Yeah, he's a funny guy as well.
Beyond them, I was shocked when I got to the club scene and the other ancillary agents were also like kind of cool. I was like, oh man, I like all of you.
Yeah. But no, I think it's great. It's doing such a good job. Patrick is doing such a fantastic job as Bond as well. Like, genuinely. I haven't got to the end of it yet, and my hope is that this is a start of I'm hoping this is similar to Jedi, where this is going to be a trilogy where we get like, obviously, First Light is him becoming 007, and then we get
Yeah.
like more of him, but also this guy Patrick is so good from what I've seen so far. All I'm saying is, Amazon, whoever, if you're looking for a new Bond, there's no better audition here where I'm sitting here and I'm
Yeah.
like, you might actually have a guy for it already. Because this is like, from the title sequence to the music
I like
to
that
everything.
this is the
I'm like,
antithesis of the the Jedi thing, where I'm like, please don't put Cal in anything else besides the games. I don't want you to taint him.
I mean, I'd love to, like I say, I wouldn't, in a way. I'm like, please keep him on the IO stuff because I'd love to get more of these games. I'm not even done with it. I'm like, I'd love to get another one of these in like 2-3 years. But I'm just sitting there. It's like, from where, these locations that you go to, there's so much fun. And just like I say, the characters are so likable. And there's only been one single instance of writing in this game where I have genuinely gone, oh. And the only time I went, oh, is because there was one scene, and it's in I don't think it's a spoiler because it was in some of the gameplay that was shown beforehand. But there's a bit where James is by himself and he sees a crane and he says something along the lines of, I'm gonna have to climb that, aren't I? And I'm like, oh, that's a bit gamey. Like, it's a bit too Nate Drake. Or I'm like, it's a bit too kind of, he's talking to himself a little bit. And that's the only time in the entire game where I went, oh. And I'm like, to be fair, the fact that I'm like 7 hours into this video game, fair play. When you're literally, when you're looking at your homework, and your homework is what if Hitman and Uncharted had a baby, and you managed to get 7 hours in without having a Nate Drake quip to himself that I was a bit too too obvious for Bond. I'm like, oh, fair play. You've done pretty good that far.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's a slam dunk. I think IO've nailed it. I really do.
Monroe was the guy's name.
Monroe, yes, that is his name.
I was like, half this conversation, I've been like, what is it? Because I
I
went
will
through the
not
other ones. I
rest.
started remembering the ancillary people like
Of course you
sing
did.
and
I don't remember any of them.
yeah.
Um,
You've
not that they're
played
not
more.
important.
You've
I
had
just
more
don't
time
remember.
with them too. Is
I
funny.
know. Uh, Mate.
Uh,
I don't care because I was just like, okay, these two are the two that I clearly need to get attached to because
they're his buddies.
they're my besties, and and unfortunately I'm a weak man hunter. I immediately saw Cressida and I was like, I don't remember what the other guy's name is. Feels bad, man. Feels bad.
Especially messed up because he's into her.
Dude, that was the most annoying part of the video game, dude. That's the most part of it. I was like, I'm supposed to be James Bond here, dude. What's going on here?
Well, they
I
make
never
it
thought.
pretty abundantly clear that everyone else is super into him.
Yeah, but I'm not. That's the thing. Is I'm sitting there and I'm like, bro, I'm 007. I thought I'm supposed to be the guy. Why am I the third wheel? What is this? What is this? Do I have to earn the number before I get some respect in this household? Jeez. Jeez. Um it's fine. Um but no. I'm having a great time. I think it's brilliant. Shocker, IO Interactive makes another banging video game. Who would have guessed?
Who
Bro?
would have
Who would have
guessed?
guessed?
You know. I
Yeah,
do like that the kind of rough marketing for this made the people doubt a little bit. It's funny because really, I didn't. I was like,
never
oh, it's gonna
wavered.
be good.
It's gonna be good.
I was like, these trailers aren't great, but this is gonna be good.
And yeah, I'm having a really good time with it, and I wish more developers would make more of these kind of things.
Yeah.
And I know that it's like, it still took 5 years to make, and it's like, my hope is though, similar to Witcher 4, that I'm hoping that they've put all this work in the back end now, so that if they are to make another one, they can get the ball moving a bit quicker.
They went through. They moved from Hitman to Hitman pretty quickly, so
That's my hope, is that they.
you'd think
Which,
that because it sold like 1 million and some copies.
1.5 million copies in a day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
they've done all right.
So
I think they've done all right.
I think the green light for another one will be coming. You know.
I hope so, and I hope they have, or even if it's just Jedi. Jedi was like a 3-year gap, 3 and a bit year gap. 3 years, I think, would be fine.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, because it's like, I know Witcher is mental. I think they said that they want the whole trilogy out over the span of 6 years or something like that for Witcher 4, 5, and 6.
Dude,
so it's like once they
Witcher's
get
the
going,
kind of thing
they're
I feel
going.
like you can take a longer gap for because it will take some people that long to play it. You know.
I know. CD Projekt are cooking because they were like, hey, don't expect any expansions for Witcher 4 because we'd just rather make the next part. We'd rather just make the next one. I'm like, hey, Godspeed.
I'm glad someone's figured out the philosophy of why DLC is for nerds.
Which is funny because CD Projekt are one of the only companies where the DLC is actually
DLC,
worth the investment. Like I say, Phantom Liberty, exceptional, and so is the Witcher 3 DLC Blood and Wine. I will be getting back for that third Witcher 3 DLC because of course I will. I will be definitely. Yeah. I'm gonna replay it on PlayStation. I'm gonna go get that platinum while I'm at it. That's my excuse to get the platinum for Witcher.
There you go.
But no, play it. It's brilliant. I genuinely am having such a good time with Bond.
Dude, I even humored the one R&D lady to do the VR stuff.
Yeah,
I did like one of those. I didn't stick around very long, but I like looked at all and I'm like, this is a really good way to gamify just playing more of the video game once you're done.
Well, it's almost
replay the campaign.
It's almost as if that side mode is the Hitman stuff coming into, but that's where all the Hitman stuff's gonna go. Which I'm like, I'm more than happy with because I noticed that it was like, here's the small little, you can do the small stuff now, and then the bigger operations, which are more like Hitman levels, unlock after you beat the game. I'm like, so this is how you're gonna add more content, is you're gonna add these, which I'm fine with. I'm like, that's awesome.
Yeah, like it looks like if you were to like, I don't know, actually stop and do all of them as they became available, you'd learn more about the game as you went.
But yeah, it was really funny because because I did them once they became available. And I saw someone on Twitter going, they only tell you in the side mode that there's even combos in this game. And I'm like, It's not a side mode, buddy. You can access that from like mission 3. If you just talk to people, it's there, and
Yeah.
the game wants you to try it straight away. Like
Yeah. Like
it's there. It's not
I
hidden. It's
did
not
it.
that hidden.
I didn't go super deep into it. I do
No,
think
I
it's
did.
weird that I had to like exit to the main menu to get back after
Yeah, it was a bit weird. That was a bit weird.
leaving from the conversation. I was like, because I tried to find the door for like 2 minutes.
Yeah, same. I did the exact same thing. Don't worry. We're in it together in that respect. But yeah, like I say, I'm having a blast with it. I think it's great. There are a couple of gripes here and there, but those gripes are more nitpicks than anything really. Where I'm just sitting there and I'm just, like for example, I think this game's got a lot of compliments for a lot of the tutorials that it's done and how it gets you in there, but I think it still holds your hand just a little too long, like most modern video games, where I'm sitting there going, I've got it now. Let me go. I'm free. I'm free as a bird. Set me free.
Yeah, there was some of it where I was like the Iceland thing. I was like, I don't super love how this is going.
Yeah. It's an interesting one where it's like, I think at least from the bits that I've played so far, the weakest mission is the first mission, which is, I guess I can't complain if that's where we're if that's where we're going. But from what I've played so far, it gets better and better. And once you get to the bit that you're at, it's pretty high sailing since then. I've not had any complaints.
Yeah.
It's the first game in a long time where I played for 5 or 6 hours and went, oh, I should probably stop now. I should probably go to bed, which is makes me sound old, but it's more the ADHD. It doesn't hit the same as it used to. You know, it's like I feel like you need something really good to get me locked in for like 5 or 6 hours. But Bond is doing that for me. I think it's great. But you don't need. I feel like the scores speak for themselves. I think people are enjoying this a lot. I think so far, I've not got to the end of it yet, but if it stays this way, it's probably my game of the year so far, even though I've only played like for 4 or 5 games. It's getting up there. It's scratching that itch. It is scratching that itch. And I wish we got more of it. I really do. It's almost like I'm playing this Hunter and I'm sitting there and I'm going, Jedi could have learned a thing or two from this. A little bit more linear, a little bit less kind of.
I know what you
mean. A little bit more nuance in its level design.
If the second one had been a little more focused.
Yeah, a little bit more. That's what I'm just a little bit more focus in my, I'm asking for that for a lot of games recently, but I feel like it's a respectable thing to ask for. A little bit of focus, a little bit of attention here and there, but hey-ho, it is what it is. But yeah. I will finish it at some point this week, ladies and gentlemen, and you can look forward to my full review shortly. I will get it done. I've got nothing else to do. Go back to Lego Batman? Nah, don't think so, buddy. I've got better things to be doing, like playing more 007. Right then. I guess we leave it there. Only a 2-hour podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about that.
Only a 2-hour podcast. We haven't done one of these in a while.
We can't do it like we used to, dude. We can't do it like we used to. All the links are on screen right now. You can go follow us on socials. You want to keep up to date what we do outside of the podcast, or in the description on podcast services. Yeah. Next week, ladies and gentlemen. Oh boy, it's a fun one. Will it be a good day for gaming or a bad day for gaming? Find out. We'll be discussing the highs, the lows of everything. I find it interesting because there'll be people I know, because I know a couple of friends who listen and stuff like that. It was like they'll get all the information from us saying whether it was worth it or not. So it's like we will do the dirty work. We will sit there for 5 hours and watch this drivel.
Being the arbiter of people's opinions on video game conferences is a hilarious notion to me, because I'm usually on a different plane of existence as far as my opinions compared to other people a lot of the time. Like, people like Keeley's shows, which is insane.
I think that it's interesting because, like I say, I think we all have different tastes. And also, the older I get, the more impatient I get where I'm sitting there and I'm like, back in like 2020 when it was lockdown and no one gave a crap, I'd more than happily watch a 2-hour Keeley show and go, I've got nothing better to do. This is my Thursday or this is my Friday. Whereas now I'm sitting there and I'm going, you show me one more World of Tanks ad, Jeff Keeley, and I'm coming through the screen for you, mate. I'm coming. Don't you try me.
Where's Spyro, Jeff?
Where's Spyro, Jeff? Where is he? Is he under the cupboard? Is he there? Is he? He better be. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Like I say, next week's episode might be coming in hot. Just to warn you, because hey, there's only so much we can do. The Xbox show is literally on the Sunday before.
Depends on how noteworthy the Xbox show is.
Yeah, it depends on how noteworthy the Xbox show is, ladies and gentlemen. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. It might be a bit more jumpy. We might be doing multiple recordings to try and get everything locked in. But hey, we'll see how that goes. But we'll leave it there for today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you ever so much for watching. We'll be back same time, same place next week for this all over again. See you for the end of Key 3, I guess. But until then, have an awesome week. Try to enjoy yourselves. Try and have a good one. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Bye.
Toodaloo.